Bad Brad episode 30 has now commenced. All right, how's everybody doing out there? This is the show where you can ask me anything, and the show is designed by you. Rhonda is here. We've got Paul, the birthday boy, here with the wrench. We've got Dave Strong with the wrench. Glad to have both of you guys here. It's an amazing Saturday. We're lucky to be alive. We're lucky to be on this earth, and I'm glad to have everybody here. Yes, Shane, it is time for a Bad Brad Bash with no blue splash, dude. So yes, Eliezer, how you doing? Eric, let's go. What's happening? How is everybody doing? I'm here, man. It's been an epic day. I don't know if P-Funk is in the room, but we did a 2-hour P-Funk interview extravaganza. 2 hours. So I'm going to, what's up, dude? It was so great to see P-Funk. It's been, 30 years, 35 years? And, man, incredible. So we did 2 hours, and what I'm going to do, I'll start working on that tomorrow, but I'm going to chop that up into 2 videos, and then we're going to upload that to the Rockstar members of the channel. They're going to have access to that 2 hours of interview footage. They're going to have access to that first. And it may be a few weeks before the P-Funk interview footage will be released, but you asked for it. 32 years. Reliving some of the Sunset Strip stories, talking about the Sunset Strip and all the crazy stuff that went on there, and our time working in the pawn shop, and it was wild, man. And we're gonna do it again, man. We're gonna have P-Funk back. John, how you doing tonight? The master of funk himself, Mr. P-Funk. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, man, reminiscing and thinking about our time, and then coming to it's a nice beginning to the story, and at the end of the 2 hours we kind of put a cap on it and kind of explained, why you would leave LA, even though LA seemed like paradise upon first inspection. It's like that piece of fruit you pick up in the store, and it looks impeccable and it looks amazing, and you take a big bite out of it, and it tastes pretty good, but then you flip it over and you realize the other side of the fruit is rotten, dude. It's rotten. So yeah, man, that's gonna go out to Rockstar members of the channel. I'm gonna work on the editing of that, which it really isn't editing. It's just a matter of finding the halfway point, putting the logo in, and maybe shooting an intro or something. And maybe I can dig up some pictures of us back in the day. That would be cool, man. I need to get in my storage and see what photos I have. I know I've got some pictures of us hanging out back in the day. Greetings from Germany, Dennis says. Wow, amazing. It was a clearance sale in the produce aisle, dude. But yeah, we've got people from Germany here, and look, man, I'm gonna tell everybody we're on a time difference, I know, but man, we have people from Australia that join us every morning. Every morning, Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m., we do a premiere of a new video. And during that premiere, we're all in the chat each day. So if you can do the math of when that coincides with your time, please join us each morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? And yeah, you can join us in the chat, right? It's really cool to get up every day and be able to touch base with everybody. So yeah, man, amazing stuff. I put out 2 videos today, right? Here's the deal, man. It's like I've got to hit certain numbers. Last month was good. This month, dude, YouTube is a grind, dude. And it's going to take a lot to get this channel. It takes a lot of work to get this thing popping, right? And you can have a good month, and then it can be, it could just go right back where it was. So you have to constantly work it. It's a constant work in progress. And yeah, we'll get there, Paul. Absolutely, man. And a big salute to, I'm having a little Buble. I'm having some Michael Buble tonight. Roasting up some Buble. Hello. Hello. We're going to go see the O. Where's the O? So right on, man. So what do we got? What do we want to talk about tonight? And I see Mike H is here with the wrench as well. Yeah. We've got what's happening. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Dan. If anyone can see it in the logo ridden jungle, it is you, Brad. Thank you, Lago Rhythmic. Right. I have a question. Is it possible to have a 3-hour practice while your girlfriend interrupting you at least 3 times? Well, I will pose a question to you, Bo, because once you get married, interrupting 3 times in 3 hours is nothing. Once you get married, you'll be lucky to get 5 minutes to do a quick take. Oh, SM, thank you so much. That's amazing, and we're gonna fully address your question. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about now, but yeah, man, you're gonna get interrupted way more than that. I'm lucky if I get 5 minutes to play guitar without an interruption. Here we go. So SM is saying, "Hola from Hollywood," and he says, "Was it the pawn shop at Melrose and Cahuenga, or Elliott Salter on Santa Monica?" Okay. So the pawn shop that I worked at was at Melrose and Cahuenga. It was called Brothers Collateral. Now I know Mikey P-Funk, he worked at another one, and I don't think he worked at Elliott Salter's. He did work at one on Santa Monica. But we worked at Brothers Collateral, which is now turning into it's going to be a sports bar. It's going to be called Pawn Shop LA, and it's turning into a sports bar. So you know what? We should have an event. I should reach out to the guy that's building that thing and tell him, because look, I understand the family owned the pawn shop. I understand it. It was their legacy. But we busted our butts in there and worked hard too. And I think it would be cool if maybe we all go there one day, arrange a thing where at least 4 or 5 of us old workers there at the pawn shop go there and do an event. Go there for the grand opening, which I don't know if I'll be able to make. But maybe, look, we keep growing this channel. We'll start doing stuff like this. Now, we got Hank the Hillbilly. Here is a question from Hank the Hillbilly, and I much appreciated that. And it looks like he's in Canada, which I'm trying to hit the heart on that. There we go. Okay, so Hank the Hillbilly is asking, do you know any of Guns N' Roses guys? So Guns N' Roses guys, I didn't know personally. But I've talked about on my channel, there's a story about, I think it's like Wild Sunset Strip Nights or something like that. It's got a thumbnail with Slash in it and Ron Jeremy and a few others. There's a whole story of a night that we were on the Sunset Strip. We're partying at the Rainbow, and Slash was sitting at the table across from us. And Slash literally had like 6 girls. It was Slash in the middle of a table surrounded by women. And it's like when I talked with P-Funk today, and P-Funk I don't think was there that night. He was not. But when I talked with him, and he said, man, it was 2-to-1 women out there. I said, dude, it felt more like 9-to-1. It didn't feel like 2-to-1. Two girls for every boy, the Beach Boys song. No, it felt like there was two, and then there were 7 others waiting for a phone call. So yeah, there you go. That's the story about that. Basically, these girls wanted to go party with Slash. We were sitting at the table across. One of the girls was passed out. The girl approaches us, says, "Hey, you look like nice guys. Here's $20. Would you take care of our friend? Take care of our passed out friend because we want to go party with Slash." And the story goes on from there. But as far as personally knowing any of them, no. Brad, should tri-chorus guitar make a comeback? Scott, that's a good question. That actually is making a comeback. I've watched several YouTube videos. There's some James Tyler videos. There's, what's the guy, RJ Ronquillo. He did a video where he got that with the James Tyler guitar, got that 80s tri-chorus sound. And I think that's a cool sound, man. I think right now, and I even heard like the music that we don't listen to, right? The pop stuff and stuff, they may be using that tri-chorus and stuff all the time. So yeah, and dude, speaking of chorus on bass, Duff McKagan famously had chorus on his bass guitar. You wouldn't think that, but yeah, Scott, it is a very cool sound, and I believe it's really coming back. I mean, not like where it's everywhere like it was in the 80s, but I think it's back more. It's not considered unhip anymore. So that's the deal. Oh, that's delicious. Yes, we want to extend an extended birthday wish to Paul. I know we did a special live broadcast for his birthday, sort of a surprise party. Here's one from Shane. Curious how you developed that behind the back shredding like on the Colt Ford video. Thought that was very impressive. Thank you very much, Shane. Behind the back guitar stuff, and look, if you dig through the archives of, there's a mock Hot Licks video. If anybody remembers the Hot Licks video, if you go through the archives of my channel and put in the search bar Hot Licks, I did a ridiculous video. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody saw it. It was before the channel started to lift off. And I think I talk about how to do the behind the back thing. But look, let's talk about it. So we got this guitar here, and this is the Enya Nova Go Sonic, and it's plugged up because I was, right? So here's the deal, man. If you're gonna play behind your head, and look, you could play in complex stuff, but what I used to do is, if I'm in B minor, I would grab that position right there, and then I put the guitar behind my head. Now I can't really do it in the position that I'm in. Let me see. Maybe it's easier standing up. Actually, this guitar, the shape of it, I'm not used to do that. Let's try it with a Strat. So we're going with the Strat, tried and true for me. Let's see if I can still do this. Right? Was the vinyl on? Yeah. So I have a low gain setting on, but obviously you would want to have the gain cranked up there, and I hope you guys could see that. But it's easy, man. You put it behind your head, you visualize where you're at on the neck, and you play. Now, I haven't done that in a long time. So, and here's the deal. You would probably have, I'd crank the gain up. Crank the gain up more. Let's see. maybe I can redeem myself. And I don't have a Marshall setting, but I could probably do it better, and I did it better in that video. This is the gain on the that's the gain on the Imperial Tri-Tube preamp. And I would probably go for more of a Marshall-esque tone to get more easier. That tone that I've got set there would be great for fusion and stuff like that. But I would go for a more high gain tone to do the behind the back thing, because I'm going to do more pull-offs and hammer-ons and stuff like that. But that's just me. Oh, wow, James Tyler made the Jack Daniels bass for Michael Anthony. Well, there you go. You learn something every day. So let's see. I'm missing the chat. There you go. Yeah, let's see. There you go. All right. What else we got? What else we got on a Saturday night? The Tri-Tube is awesome. And man, I really keep going back to that. What's happening, Rhonda? I keep going back to that tone, because for what I like to hear now, that is the sound that I kind of gravitate towards. What chorus pedal you recommend for a bass guitar? That's a good question, Eliezer. That would be. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't even think I own a chorus pedal right now. Now I might if I dug through my things here. I know I can dial one up on the stuff that I have here. But yeah, it seems like get a Boss bass chorus. It's probably gonna have the frequency range for bass. And you know what? Find out a chorus bass tone that you think is great, and then seek that pedal out. What is Duff? If you like Duff's chorus tone on bass, then find out what he used. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. There are a lot of different. I tell you what is a cool, inexpensive chorus pedal for guitar. If they still make them, I don't know. But there was a plastic chorus pedal called the Arion SCHZ, and it had a button for a chorus or vibrato sound. That is a really cool sounding chorus pedal. I don't know if you could still buy them anymore. They had the original one, and guys like Michael Landau and all these people were buying them up and using them. And then they made a remake of it. And I had a few of them. I used to have it on my board. It has a really cool vibrato sound. Experiment, man. If you're into chorus, then try a few different chorus pedals and pick the one that sounds best to your ears. Let's get the likes up. Thank you, Paul. You just bought a Roland RD1000. Very cool, Scott. Are small muffs a thing? Yeah, don't they have the little small one? FMP? I think they do. Let's see. You ever use a Boss blues driver? Eric, I have used a blues driver. I don't think that I have one right now. That is a very versatile pedal. It goes all the way from overdrive to even some fuzz-like tones in the higher gain settings. I have used those on my pedal board, but I don't believe that I own one right now. Very cool pedal though. Blues driver is great. It's a cool pedal. Iron Man, yes indeed. Thank you for the thumbs up. And yeah, we're having a killer time here. Coffee and cabbage. Yes, indeed. That's Erickson. Thank you. 5 thumbs up. I love that. PV Stereo Chorus amp. I bet that was a cool sounding amp. I miss the old PV gear. Can we start making PV amps in Meridian, Mississippi? Can we make that happen? See you later, Chris. Thank you for being here. David's given like umpteen million thumbs up, but just make sure that you hit the thumbs up on the video. See that thing right there? I would like to see it one day when we get 300 or 400 people in the room, and then on to 500, on to 1,000. I know, and here, once we get to that point, it might be a point where every Monday morning or whatever time slot I end up, continuing on, it might end up being a daily broadcast live. That would be probably a good goal to have, to get it to where each day I can go live for an hour and I don't have to worry about constantly producing content and doing all that. I can just, get this studio up to the point where I can hit intro music. I can have, my own intro and, a microphone and maybe some co-hosts or something like that. And then we can go live every weekday or something like that. So that would be cool. It would be like our Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. Absolutely. Except we won't be featuring the latest. We won't be featuring the latest film and TV workers. But yeah, Tube Screamer, does that fattening toe slow? It actually boosts the mid range. Is a big part of why a Tube Screamer sounds good with a Fender amp, because a Fender amp actually scoops out mid-range, and then when you click on the Tube Screamer, it puts the mid-range back in there. So think about that. Okay, now we've got somebody at the door. I believe we've got our first guest.
I forgot. Me and Mia met somebody today that knows the guitar player for Eddie Money.
Eddie Money is no longer with us.
I know, but the guitar player for him is his guitar player.
Which one out of the 100 of guitar players he had over his career?
I guess they said his name was Tommy, and he's in charge of the
This is the news that the wife brings. Oh, I met Eddie Money's guitar player today.
No, a lady that knows his guitar player.
Oh, I met a lady who knows Eddie Money's guitar player. Okay, well, Eddie Money's dead?
I know, but they're in charge of this entertainment.
Well, then his guitar player. Well, which one? I would.
His name is Mr. Tommy.
Mr. Tommy. Okay, that narrows it down to at least probably 5 to 10 dudes, right?
He's in charge of the entertainment at the Wiregrass Mall that I shop at.
Oh, well, you know what, Mr. Tommy, dude. Look at this thing cleaning his hands, bro.
He's so cute. I should have brought in his mug.
Yeah, hey, go get the Ace mug.
Okay, well then here you hold that.
I'm gonna hold the beast. Release the Kraken.
He's a cutie.
And so we've got for the channel, if you look below the description, or you'll see these products, you'll see like there's a product button. If you click on that, there's actual channel t-shirts. Some of them are just a little, generic. If you just want something low key, it says Music, Guitars, and Truth. There's also Bad Brad shirts, and there is an Ace mug with this guy's little face on it. So
this is when he was so much smaller.
It's not.
Yeah,
This was not that long ago.
Really?
So here's the Ace mug. Now look, if you order one of these, it does take a while to come.
Yeah, it takes
you
a
have
long
to
time.
be patient. It might have taken 3 or 4 weeks, maybe even more. You got
swear
him?
he doubled in size since that was
She
printed.
says he's doubled in size.
Look at his face. It's small, much smaller.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
Yeah,
So here's the Ace mug. It's 2 sides. It says
he he's looking at his
It says
picture.
small in size, mighty in spirit, and then the other side says small in size, mighty in spirit. So these are ways that you can support the channel, and it helps the channel out a lot. We all can use a mug, and he is a vicious beast.
And even if you don't drink coffee, you can put your tea in there, of course, but you can also do what Brad used to do. He was on an M&M kick a while ago, and he used to put his M&Ms in there.
I used to put M&Ms in a cup and then sit on the couch.
Also, so his daughter and I didn't know, and then he started hiding them in his shirt too.
Then I'd go over and I'd put a few in my shirt.
Oh, look what he's doing! He's behind
I don't do M&Ms anymore.
No.
What is he doing?
Now you're on the Italian ice.
Yeah, it's Italian ice because my wife is Italian. She's an Italian. The Italians don't like it when you call them Italians.
No.
Drinking M&Ms. It's like that Pat Travers song. Drinking M&Ms.
You know what's the bizarre thing about that is he'll tell Mia and I not to eat the Twizzler nibs because they have like the red 40 and all that. But then he's eating the M&Ms, and guess what? He's eating the red ones.
Well, you know what?
And then the Italian ice, guess what? He's eating the red one.
I don't eat the red Italian ice.
Now you eat the lemon one, but that has
the lemon one.
A funky taste to it.
I don't know. It's here's the deal, and she does it herself. After all day talking, the voice is like thrashed, right? And you eat that Italian ice, it's like it's something about that. I used to do that.
Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna go have one and watch Ginny and Georgia.
She's gonna go watch Ginny and Georgia and have an Italian ice. Take the beast with you, and let's get back to the rock and roll.
Okay,
dude.
and so should I set up the interview with the guitar player that was with?
No.
Eddie Money
If it was the original guy, and I can't think of his name. If anybody knows the guy that played on Shaken and 2 Tickets to Paradise and all that stuff.
Oh, he said Tom. Okay, Tommy. Yeah, that's
Tommy,
the dude.
Tommy
That's the
Gervin.
dude. Yes, that's the dude that the woman said.
So, Chris, tell me about Tommy Gervin. What's the deal?
Does he? Because he lives in Wesley Chapel, Florida.
Okay.
Like where we live.
You tell people. Yeah.
In the area that we.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We're in the Tampa area.
Yeah, we're in the Tampa area. So here's the deal, Tommy Gervin. All right. Well, maybe we get an interview with Tommy Gervin, but I need to look up this guy. Oops. Actually, we don't live in Wesley Chapel, but I'm making a point to her, like. So anyway.
I say that in my videos, should I not then?
Tommy.
Because I'll say I'm in
No,
Clearwater.
you don't tell. Yeah, look, man. Here's the deal.
Well, I'll just say where I was for
It
the
just
day.
says longtime lead guitarist. Okay. So I need to, somebody email me that guy's name, because I know I'm going to forget it after that. Chris A, if you can. But did you get the contact info of the lady you talked to?
She works at Birch Lane, and she is.
He just tried to jump and fell. Come here.
I was shopping for furniture for your studio, actually.
So here's how it's.
The lady said she was starstruck when I told her about my husband being a guitar player.
Why?
She got like all giddy, and it was.
How old was this woman?
Older than me, so don't get too excited.
I'm not excited.
She's like 50-something probably.
I'm
and then she
not
started telling me
excited.
about Eddie Money and the guitar player.
Get Eddie Money's guitar player on the show. Well, Scott, we might. Tommy Gervin, thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
See, and Brad always knocks my suggestions. Always.
Well, look, when you just say so and so is so and so, I mean, you gotta have some.
The wife may once in a while have a good idea.
So Rhonda's joking. So here's the deal.
Oh no.
So the wife, I got the Odin Lake chair. My wife, I love the chair.
Show them the chair you got today.
So here's what's going down. So the wife is going to take the Odin Lake chair, which, by the way, if you can see the video on that, and if you buy the chair, it helps the channel. And shout out to the amazing.
And your back will love you.
And your back will love you. But my wife got this at Pottery Barn for 99 bucks. It's a floor model chair. It's got no arms, and so
it was part of like a dining room set, and when they switch their floor sets, they'll sell the floor models.
So and this is when I was back in Tennessee. I had a dining room chair that I used, and it's what I'm used to. It's got some cushion on it, but I can sit up. My arms are free, and all that. So and now Ace is like,
okay, come on,
trying
Bobo. Let's get a treat. Come on, let's get a treat.
So it's gonna have a half pound of Ace hair on it. Yeah, Pat Travers lives in Florida. Get him on the show. How can you afford not to buy? Yeah, how can you afford not to buy is what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Alicia Feudale. Is that, yeah, Alicia Feudale. Okay,
That's
thank you.
Alicia Farah. Is that
No. Good to have you here. And so anyway, so Ace is out. I guess
guys.
she's heading out. So that's what happened. She absconded with the chair.
You knew that was gonna happen.
I knew it was just a matter of time. But you know what? She needs it, and we're gonna keep your chair and take him with you, because he's gonna walk all over the camera and make the camera move and everything.
Everyone loves to be in your videos.
Yeah, it's like Ace wants to be in the videos. And I have to say, the production of my videos has slowed considerably since Ace has entered the household. Because I used to be able to just get up, come in here, boom, 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 shoot 2 or 3 videos a day, knock them out, sometimes have a new one out, that quick. And now that I got to deal with Ace, and if I come in and I start shooting a video, he starts walking on the camera's thing, so the camera's doing that.
How many videos did you shoot today? Because Mia and I were gone.
I only shot one. Well, I shot technically 2, but I only really shot 1. Well, no, technically I shot 3.
What?
Technically I shot 3 because I did 2 hours with P-Funk, right? I did 2 hours with P-Funk.
2 hours?
2-hour interview.
What are you guys like, girl?
Hey, we got a lot of stories to tell.
You guys talk more than 2 girls.
We got a lot of stories to tell.
Okay, it's like
we got a lot. Hey, it's PG. We tamed it down for the fine people out there.
Yeah, because your wife's gonna listen to the whole interview.
She can listen to it all she wants.
Before it's edited.
We're talking about something that's 30 years ago.
Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing.
Okay, good. Well, you got to knock out 2 hours in your schedule where you can listen to it.
Can somebody give me the cliff notes?
It's not up yet. It has to be edited. It has to be edited.
2 hours is a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's going to be 2 parts. It's going to be 2 parts, and I'll release. Like I said, Rockstar members of the channel get early access to the interviews. I uploaded a new interview to the channel yesterday. That interview is concerning getting your music on film and TV, right? Film and TV, and I give you basically the blueprint of what you need and where to go to get your music placed on film and TV. The interview is with a buddy of mine named Mike Radofsky, right? He's a drummer. He's played with a bunch of different artists. We touch upon his music career and his, learning drums and all of that stuff. But what we mainly talked about is how to get your music that you recorded, whether it's your album projects or your demos or your local band or whatever, how to get that music placed in film and TV so that you start getting little deposits in your bank, right? And this guy, Mike, has done it so much that he literally, that's what he's living off of. He's living off royalties from film and TV placement. So it's a highly valuable interview, and but that's not going to air tomorrow. What's going to air tomorrow on this channel is the interview with product specialist Steve Smith from Marshall Amplification. That video is going to air tomorrow morning. It is awesome. It's very cool because he's in England and we're here in the States, and it's an interesting interview, interesting conversation about the differences in growing up over there. And that is going to air 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. It's great. And so somebody's asking me questions, but I can't keep up with all of the chat. Let's see if I'm missing something. Chris A., you have a contact to Mike. Oh, so I am interested in Michael Anthony. I'm interested in having anybody I can on the channel. But here's the deal, man. I like doing these interviews with P-Funk. I like doing these interviews with, but I got an interview coming up, a huge music business legend that's going to be on the channel coming up. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to even mention it until I actually have it in the, shall we say, the can, as we used to say back in the day. But I've got scheduled on the 20th. I've got scheduled an incredible interview. Thank you so much, Drum Your Face Off. Thank you, dude. Not Stevie Wonder, no. I'll give you some hints, and I'm not going to say if you're right, but I'm going to name two bands, Great White and Guns N' Roses. Now I'm going to just throw those two names out, and if anybody can guess who they think it is, who I'm going to interview. It's not Estabbon. I'm not gonna reply if somebody nails it. But those are your clues. Those are your clues of who's going to be on the channel. Yes, Peter Tork is going to be on the channel. No. There's been some good guesses. There's been some great guesses. So stay tuned. And like I said, I don't want to jinx it because nothing is ever a sure thing until the footage is in the can, baby. So that is going to be an awesome interview. And here's the deal, man. Most interviews, people are just, okay, yeah, we'll do an interview. And they don't send you anything or whatever. You got to do your own research. For this interview, they said, here, read this book and then hit us up for an interview. So think about that, man. That's pretty friggin' cool. And it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. I needed that. You got to stay hydrated down here, man. No, Estabbon, I tried. FMP is always saying, get Estabbon, get Estabbon, get Estabbon. I can't get Estabbon. I can't seem to find Estabbon. I reached out to Estabbon, and I'm not able to do it. Izzy Stradlin would be like winning the lotto. Here's the deal, man. Thank you, Scott. Here's the deal. Everybody hit the like button. Let's see if we can get the numbers up tonight. Let's get the numbers up. If everybody hits a thumbs up that's in here, Zamfir, I don't believe, is with us. Now, look, speaking of Zamfir, Slim Whitman and Boxcar Willie and all that stuff, man, I think those were largely TV sort of fabrications of, look, you could, back in the day, you could put together a K-Tel style ad and tout somebody to be the greatest entertainer of all time, right? And sell records right off the TV. John, thank you so much. Dude, I need it. I'm out of the bubbly, dude. Thank you so much. I'll try to hit the heart on that, man. I'm much appreciated. That'll get us another 8-pack, dude. 8-pack and some change. So thank you so much, man. Very much appreciated. I think I have to switch to water right now because it's what I have on hand. But yeah, man. I've reached out to Estabbon. There is no Estabbon. Here's the thing, man. As these people, hey, Engelbert Humperdinck is another interesting. Look, I know people. That's a good idea. P-Funk, I know guys that played in Engelbert's band and could really tell some interesting stories about Engelbert. Here's the deal, man. When you go out on the road, and if anybody knows who Engelbert Humperdinck was, he was sort of a crooner in the late 60s. And thank you, Dwayne. Here's the deal. The deal is Engelbert was, from what I remember everybody saying, it was a difficult gig to do. And I know Roy that's been on our channel, I believe he was out with Engelbert. Yeah, Engelbert and Tom Jones and Elvis were both three Vegas like studs that ruled the Las Vegas Strip, right? And when Elvis couldn't be there, there'd be Engelbert. And when there's even a famous clip of Elvis getting a portrait somebody gives him when he's on stage, and he holds it up, he goes, "Well, looks like Engelbert Humperdinck, man." So those guys were all like kind of cut from the same jib, right? But from what I understand, if I were able to get some people on the channel to talk about that gig, they would have some wild stories to tell. So I might have to do that. I might have to get some. Here's the thing, man. Not all gigs are easy. Not all artists are easy to work for. And look, any boss can be difficult, right? It doesn't matter what kind of gig you do, but artists can be even more extra, right? So that's something I might have to do. How about an interview with the only female to take lessons with Randy Rhoads? Her name is Janet Robin, incredible player. Chris, that's an amazing suggestion. I don't know of her, or I've never seen her. Andrew is asking, was I a Johnny Winter fan? Yes. When I was a kid, and I got around 12 or 13 years old, I raided my dad's record collection. And my dad had a Johnny Winter album, and I believe it was the one, it had Tommy Shannon on bass from SRV's band, and man, I remember putting that on and just going, it was a revelation at that time to hear his voice. And dude, he was ripping blues licks, like fast ripping like blues licks, and more ripping than what you're hearing on Rolling Stones records or some of the other stuff that I was listening to at the time. So yeah. And I saw Johnny Winter at the tail end of his life. I saw him in an airport, and we were on the road with Gary Lewis, and we were flying to wherever we were flying to, and they roll Johnny Winter in a wheelchair, and we're like, dude, it's Johnny Winter. Wow, amazing. I have not read that book. Chris, I have not. So I don't know a ton of his story. But yeah, man, we didn't bother him. Look, man, I've seen so many stars in airports, and a lot of times you've got your gig bag on, and we're traveling to a gig, and they're traveling to a gig. And now that I think back, man, it would have been cool to take a picture with Johnny Winter. But I don't even think, when we were doing that then, cell phone cameras weren't that great. And we just didn't, man. So there you go. So somebody, Tristan is saying my boy Willie O'Reilly plays with Gary Lewis. Cool. I don't know Willie. I don't know him because the only guy that I know that's still out with Gary is the bass player, buddy of mine, Nick Rather is the bass player, and I don't think he does every. I don't think he does every Gary Lewis live gig, but I know he does a lot of them still. And Nick's getting on up there. I'm trying to get Nick to come on the channel and tell stories about J.J. Cale because he was with J.J. Cale in the 70s. So, man, there's a lot of great stuff to come. Flip phone. Yeah, it was basically flip phones when we were out on the road. Very low quality photos. And maybe a little bit better than that, but not much. Brad, a video dealing with band politics. Dude, how much time you got? Leaf Garrett. Yeah, that would be a good one too, P-Funk. That would be a good one, man. You don't hear much from that guy anymore. You wonder what a guy like that's day is like every day. Just like I used to wonder it's 9 a.m. What's John Sykes gonna do today? You wonder what guys do with their time, when you don't see them. So Tristan says, we're from Rochester, New York. I've actually opened up for Gary Lewis years back too. Very cool. Yeah, Gary is still up north. I haven't talked to Gary since I left the band in 2011, something like that, or 2010. But I assume he's still up in New York. Rochester, I think, is where he's based out of. So let's see. So John is asking, why are such talented people so narcissistic, fight over power? I lost out on many talented, stubborn guys. Man, you may have to be a certain type of personality to want to seek out to be on stage. Here's the deal. Everybody would kill to have David Lee Roth or Sebastian Bach in your band, right? Why? Because they're incredible frontmen with great persona and great style, right? But those same features that make them a great frontman and make them a great performer would drive you absolutely insane if you were just basically like Eddie Van Halen, a musician. It would drive you absolutely insane. So here's the deal. I think in order to want to be a rock star or a rock god or whatever you want to call it, you got to deal with the personality disorders. And I see it. Look, there's a recent band that's out there. I'm not going to name the names, but it's a band that I've talked about on this channel. What the heck? I'll go ahead and say it. Dirty Honey. I've watched some of their kind of backstage footage and behind the scenes kind of tour footage. And it seems like the singer and the guitar player just kind of rub each other. It's like there's tension there, right? And that is common, right? Two different personalities, the brooding guitar player and the gregarious singer. Haven't we seen that played out many times? So somebody just asked if I heard of Big Rec and Ian Thornley. Yes, I have previously stated that Ian Thornley didn't ring a bell, but I know Big Rec, and yeah, amazing player. So yeah, that's the deal, man. They rub each other. Well, they rub each other wrong. Let's put it that way. It's personalities, man. And here's the deal. The reason why bands have a shelf life, right? The reason why bands, have a 6 or 7 year run and then blows up because they're having to live in close quarters. They're having to deal with management and people and fans and everybody pulling them apart. And they're having to deal with all the tension when you're in that pressure cooker on the bus. And imagine this. Imagine the singer. Imagine the guitar player thinks he's had the show of his life, right? And he comes on the bus and he's in a good mood and whatever. And then the singer comes in and goes, "Why'd you walk all over my vocals tonight?" So you just took somebody who thought they gave the performance of their life, and then the singer completely shoots the entire night down. Or the singer has a bad night, and despite the fact that you had an excellent night, it's the mood on the bus becomes, and see what happens is all of that stuff stews. Normally, if somebody aggravates you at work, you go home, you sleep it off, you get 8 to 12 hours between the time you have to go back. John, thank you so much. Yes, that is a great post. John is saying Kirk Hammett and Michael Anthony needs a deep conversation. They absolutely do. I don't know if you want me to do that now or if you want me to try and interview them. Let me know what you want, John. Thank you so much. Thank you. But I'm just trying to talk about how those tensions stew when you're at work and you get aggravated. You go home, you sleep it off, you drink a beer or whatever, and you feel better the next day. But when you're on a bus, you're in that pressure cooker, and you can't get away. Somebody aggravates you, and they're literally sleeping like 2 feet away from you, or maybe they aggravate the hell out of you, and you're sick, and they're up in the front lounge blasting Pantera at 4 a.m. Think about that. There's a lot. People have different lifestyles on the road, but on the road they're put together and they have to coexist. And that's what makes it very difficult. So I think that's a great way of explaining why bands break up, and here's the deal. You have to have an ego to even want to get up on stage and do that. Isn't essentially maybe why music's not that great anymore is they've stripped away all the ego from music, right? Somebody in the comments the other day said, "Well, I'm glad that the rock era is gone because," and look, here's the reality. Yes, there were very questionable dating habits of a lot of our heroes back in the day, right? Very questionable of the people that we grew up listening to, the Jimmy you know what's and the big bands, the big huge bands. Very questionable behavior that they engaged in, right? But despite all of that, right? Despite all of that, what's missing? And they said, "Oh, they're doing, this." I said, what's missing from music is the swagger, the stoned swagger of a rock guitar, right? The stoned swagger of a guy going up there and going for broke and creating lust, having that lust when you go out on stage. Man, that's completely missing from shows anymore. Look, girls would go to shows back in the day, as far back as Elvis times. They would go to the shows hoping that Elvis would notice them and maybe whisk them off to Graceland, right? Maybe in a few rare situations. I know there were situations where there were girls they would call gate girls because they would hang out at the gate. And Elvis would sit in his upstairs bedroom, and he had a little primitive CCTV set up, and they see this blonde, this gorgeous blonde show up at the gate. And Elvis is like, hey man, is this blonde out there, man? And they basically go out there, bring the blonde in, screen her, make sure she's not a lunatic. And Elvis ended up dating her for, I don't know, year, 6 months. So, here's the deal. Let's see. John. So, John, thank you so much, man. You've been very, very generous tonight. I much appreciated. So, John is saying, great breakdown. He says, I lost the most talented friends to egos. Man, now that's the sad thing, man, is you could start out in a band being great friends with everybody. But by the end, everybody's just gets sick of each other. And that's, even if you don't make it, even if you're never on a tour bus, living in the shock house, I know I did stuff that aggravated the hell out of Greg and whoever else was living in the shock house. And I know they did stuff that aggravated the hell out of me, but we had to coexist, right? We were all trying to make it in the biz, but you can't make it if you don't even get along, and there would be times where we would be at each other's throats. But once we hit the strip with a handful of flyers in our hands, we would be best buds. We would instantly go, I want to kill you. And then, hey, it's my best friend. We would literally turn it on like a switch because we knew that's what we had to represent once we got out on the street. It's all very deep, powerful messages, man, that we share on this channel. This is not stuff that you get from any other channel. The inside perspective of what it's like to be in a band. Shane is asking, Brad, did you ever play Austin City Limits or anywhere down on 6th Street? Shane, I absolutely played on that stage at Austin City Limits, the stage, but not the show, right? And it was down there on 6th Street. I can remember walking around out there trying to find some place to get lunch or whatever. And I remember the guitar tech for Joe Bonamassa came by because I think Bonamassa was supposed to play the next night or had played the night before. And we were opening for Florida Georgia Line. And the guitar player for Florida Georgia Line at the time, they were the headliner. And the guitar tech for Bonamassa said, hey, I'm in town and I got Joe's 1959 Les Paul. Would you like to play it during the show? And so, yeah, he got to play Bonamassa's 59 Les Paul. Who knows what I was doing? By the time they went on stage, I might have been having my own party on the bus. I don't even think I saw him play the guitar because once my work was done, I was probably on the bus going, woo, woo, go, 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 woo, woo, go, go, go. So, yeah, but I remember meeting that guy, and I remember him saying, he's going to bring the guitar, and I didn't believe him. I didn't know whether to believe him or not. So, but, we weren't the headliner. So if somebody was going to get to play that guitar, it would be the thing. Now I used to have a mantra when I was out on the road. It was boom, boom, boom. And I'd come in. Erickson, thank you so much. When does the first episode of the P-Funk special drop? Let me answer that. That's a great question. Erickson, all I got to do is I'll probably do it in the morning. I've got to put it drag it over into the thing, chop it in half, put the little logo thing in there, and maybe shoot an intro. In theory, I could have the first installment up sometime tomorrow evening. And that will go to Rockstar members of the channel. If you're a Rockstar member, you'll get early access to all interviews once they come in. And I know I've basically been running out of interviews for a while because it takes a lot of time to do these interviews and scheduling with my wife and all that. So I tend to try to do 2 or 3 at a time and then edit them and let those roll for a while. So that's going to go out tomorrow morning. Steve Smith, product specialist for Marshall Amps. That's going to go live on the channel. That will be 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is a great interview. Join us tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's going to go up. We've also got the Mike Radofsky from studio to screen. That's up for Rockstar members of the channel. And 2 episodes from Mike P. Funk Strong. It's all going to be up there for Rockstar members of the channel. So if you have not become a member of the channel, consider becoming a Rockstar member. It helps keep the channel going. And but man, I'm appreciative to everybody that subscribes. Thank you all so much. It's the end of the Saturday night backstage with Bad Brad, but man, we're gonna have more cool stuff on the way. Stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. Oh, and yes, somebody just asked, did I read the Mike Simmons book? Yes, it is great. Yes, I did read it. I did read it before I did the interview. I needed to have something to interview him with. But I'm out. Thank you, everybody. Leanne, how you doing? Thank you, everybody. Everybody have an amazing night. Thank you all so much. This was amazing. Thank you all for all the super chats. Thank you to John. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to everybody else I missed. I think Hank was in there. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.